Where were you staying?
Where did we stay?
Yeah.
In Las Vegas?
Yeah.
We stayed at the Luxor.
And did any other members of your rap group, the Outlaws, come as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Who came?
Two more of my childhood friends, Raphael Fuller and Katari Cox.
Did you end up going to the fight?
No.
Why?
Well, during that day, Tupac was gambling, enjoying Vegas. He made some money when we got back to the hotel. He said, we're going to go change. I'm going to call y'all when I'm ready. And we're going to go to the fight. And we never got that phone call.
So you ended up staying at the Luxor?
No.
What did you end up doing?
We ended up trying to meet up with Mr. Shakur. We knew where the fight was at, obviously. So when we didn't get the phone call, we just left to go, get with him.
Called me to his room, and he had all his jewelry laid out. And I was like, Pac, what's up? You told me to come to your room, and he was like, grab something. I'm like, grab what? Because I don't, this is the first time he act like this. He's like, grab something, the jewelry, whatever you want, take is yours. So I grabbed the ring, because I didn't want to go for the big stuff. He had Rolexes. I'm talking about diamond Rolexes, watches, bracelets, everything. So I grabbed the ring, the little thing. He's like, man, grab something else. I grabbed a Rolex. It's a Rolex bracelet that he had on All Eyes on Me. I later on gifted it to Mike Epps. I grabbed that. He's like, man, take more. So I grabbed a chain, and then I grabbed a ring, and then I left. And I went into the hotel lobby. Gaddafi and Edie was out there. They was like, what Pac wanted? Why he called you to the room? I was like, man, Pac acting weird, bro. He just put all his jewelry down and told me to take his jewelry. And I was like, look. And I don't know if it was Edie or Gaddafi. I gave one of them the chain and one of them the ring, and I just kept the Rolex. You hear people sometimes, they say these things about, this person seemed like he knew he was going to die. I really can't touch upon if these things can be actually, facts. But he definitely was acting as if he was going to depart. He wasn't acting the normal Pac. From the simple, even from the point when he was like, he just woke up one day, was like, we don't have enough pictures with each other. Sent somebody to the grocery store. That's when you can get them portable cameras from the grocery store, Ralph's, in LA. And he was like, let's just take pictures with each other so that we can have them for memories. Then gave me away his jewelry. So, it was strange.
What's your reaction when you see the shots?
I'm horrified.
And I'm sorry, I don't think I asked this question. Who was in the Lexus with you at that point?
Security, Frank Alexander, Raphael Fuller, and Katari Cox.
So, two of the fellow members of the Outlaws, and then a security guard named Frank Alexander.
Right.
What do you guys do in the immediate aftermath of the shooting?
We started to get out of the car to go check on Tupac. And, that's what we did.
Do all of you make it to Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight's car?
No.
Does anybody make it to Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight's car? What happens?
Shook pulled off, made a U-turn.
Or do you guys follow them, or do you drive off someplace else?
No, we followed them.
And that's why do you guys have to make a U-turn to follow them? Does Mr. Knight's car stop ultimately at an intersection?
It does.
What happened? Are you following him to that intersection?
We were.
What happens when you stop at that intersection?
We get out of the car to go check on Tupac.
And are you able to make it to Tupac's vehicle?
No.
Why not?
When we approached the car, Mr. Shakur said to me, get on the ground, they're going to shoot you. And when I turned around, there was a shotgun in my face.
And who was holding the shotgun?
Police officer.
So what do you do?
I got on the ground.
Were you able to observe any of the injuries to Mr. Shakur at that time?
I could not see the injuries to Mr. Shakur.
So then your at basically the wrong end of a shotgun from a police officer and on the ground. How long are you in that situation for?
It seemed like forever.
When I pulled the door open, now we've still got people running around, people are yelling, I'm trying to watch these other guys a little bit, and now I've got, at this point, Suge Knight is coming up behind me. And, you know, I'm looking at him, and here's this guy is giant, and I'm just like, man, this is a bad situation for me. And I pulled the door open, and when I pulled it open, the guy sitting in the passenger seat, who turns out later to be Tupac, he kind of slumped out, came out with the door. So he's in the car, he's leaning against the door, and as I open the door, he kind of spills out. So he spilled out, and I just kind of grabbed him with one hand, and then I was pointing the gun at Suge with the other, because Suge is still trying to run up to me, and you know, the guy's clearly a threat. He was also just absolutely gushing blood out of the side of his head, but he's acting fine. I mean, he's not incapacitated in any way. He's shooting blood out of his side of his head, and he starts yelling at Tupac, and he's yelling at him, "Pac, Pac," and he just keeps yelling, "Pac." And I can see, then I look down, I can see Tupac is trying to yell back to Suge, and he's just kind of not physically able to do it. And he's kind of, you know, you can see him sort of mouthing, and they're in eye contact with each other. And he's trying to get something out to yell at Suge, and he can't get the words out. But he's still, you know, he's fully conscious. He's moving. He's kind of squirming, and that's when I looked at him, and there was, you know, an extensive amount of blood on him, and I saw that he had. I couldn't tell exactly where it was, but he had clearly had torso wounds, which are, of course, you know, almost always going to be life-threatening. So I realized then this guy has a good possibility of dying. So I looked at him and I said, you know, what happened? Who shot you? Who did this? You know, what's going on? And he's just really just kind of ignoring me. He's not even, you know, even though I'm right there holding him, he's just kind of not acknowledging my presence, and he's trying to yell back at Suge. Well, I turned around at Suge, and that was the first time I noticed. I saw the back of another bike officer, and he was pushing Suge away from me, and that's the first time I realized there's other cops there, so that made me feel a lot better. So he kind of pushes Suge back, and
realized that I was shot. Because usually when you get shot in the head, the first thing the person do is panic. You know, bam, I'm shot in the head, I'm about to die, you know. And once you do that, you can't drive nowhere. My whole thing was, Pac, he was shot. I'm like, you shot? I'm gonna get you to the hospital. I'm driving, telling him I'm gonna get to the hospital, kick back. Pac looked at me and said, you know what? You need the doctor more than me. You the one shot in your head. And we laughed the whole time going to find out went to the hospital. That's the conversation we had. It wasn't, Pac was a man the whole time. It wasn't that he was like, oh, I'm shot. He cracking jokes. He like, yeah, they shot me. He said, but you shot in your head. Look at your head bleed. Look how much it's bleeding. That was Pac. I'm like, man, shut up, I'm gonna get you to the doctor.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They loved me. We was in, we was going in, we was on the thing that was getting there. I like, Pac, we the last one left. When we talk, this is how we talking. He said, homie, I'm straight. I love you, homie. I'm gonna be straight. I love you too. Woo, woo. That's what it was.
Suge is still yelling, "Pac, Pac." He's trying to yell at him. And then I saw Tupac just, all of a sudden, just in an instant, he went from trying to, you know, kind of squirming, looking at Suge, trying to get the words out to where you could tell he physically just gave up. He just wasn't able to do it. And he just crossed that line into just quitting and being at peace. And he just kind of laid back and was calm and was no longer looking or trying to do anything. And I could just see that he was just, you know, it's kind of like almost like an athlete or a runner when they hit that wall and it's just like it's over, and you could see that in his face. And I looked at him once again. I said, "What happened? Who did this? Who shot you?" And now he's looking at me, so we're looking at each other in the eyes. And this is kind of the first time he's even acknowledging my presence. And he looked at me, and I could tell he was getting a breath together to tell me. And he looked me right in the eyes, and we looked at each other, and he said, "Fuck you." And he said it just like that, with the emphasis on that F to really let me know. That's how he felt. So he said that, and right after he said it, he just started gurgling, and you could tell he was in bad shape, and his eyes, he's starting to lose consciousness then, and his eyes roll back. And as it turns out, that would be his last conscious moment and his last words.